situation, then by the end of the movie, having that point of view changed or is willing to hear more about that certain situation. Movies from 1955 to 1976 helped stop segregation, helped mainstream religion, and helped break the chains of tradition. To Kill a Mockingbird was written by Harper Lee in 1960, and the director of the movie was Robert Mulligan. The book and movie challenged racial issues during the civil rights movement. The story was about a Southern lawyer defending a black man wrongly accused of raping a white woman. President Obama and Michelle commented, "Through the uncorrupted eyes of a child, she showed us beautiful complexity of our common humanity and the importance of striving for justice in our own lives, our communities, and our country. Miss Lee changed America for the better." For my next point, I will be discussing the next movie that challenges racial issues. Guess Who's Coming to Dinner is a film directed by Stanley Kramer in 1967. It is not only a movie that challenges racial issues, but also interracial marriage, which was illegal at this time. The parents of a white daughter were liberals and had no problem with black people, but had never dealt with them like this before, so they had a hard time accepting the situation. This movie was not only watched by the younger generation, but also the older generation who went to see Spencer Tracy act for the last time before his death. Movies not only had an effect on racial issues, but religion as well. The Ten Commandments was directed and produced in 1956 by Cecil B. DeMille. It is known as the biggest Christian movie production, and still 64 years later, it was watched by many people. In an article written by Time Free Press, Reverend Mark Flynn is interviewed. Quote, "It translates better to our culture. At the end of a movie, we want resolution, and the resolution has to be unambiguous. We like movies where a clean-cut hero saves the day and the bad guys, the black hats, are punished. I always tell people to be careful for what you watch, because once you watch The Passion of Christ, for example, it is hard not to have those images pass through your mind when you read about the crucifixion. Once you watch the Ten Commandments, you think that Moses looks like Charleston Henson." My next point is more about the negative sides of mainstream religion. Jesus Christ Superstar was a musical play directed by Norman Jewison in 1970. This play is not your typical Christian play or movie. This play is well known for its use of rock opera. This play truly takes on a modern twist in the first few weeks before Jesus is killed. Tim Rice, one of the writers, wanted to create something from Judas's point of view. Little did they know how this play would blow up and all the threats and criticism they would get. Many cinemas were bombed because of this. And the producers and writers were accused of being anti-Semitic and anti-Gordon. However, the play still continues to be shown throughout the world. My next point covers movies helping break social traditions. Graduate was produced in 1967 by Mike Nichols. This movie was very scandalous for its time and deals with not only adultery, but the norm of sleeping around. In an article written by film critic Roger Ebert, he explains the work of Mike Nichols and his effect on society. Quote, "Nichols stays on top of his material. He never pauses to make sure we're getting the point. He never explains for the slow-witted. He never apologizes." End quote. Nichols knew he was challenging the viewers, and he did not hesitate to stop. Moving on to my next point, American Graffiti was directed by George Lucas in 1973. This movie broke the chains of tradition because of all the cars, lights, drinking, and cigarettes in the movie. In a Hollywood Reporter article, they go into detail of what the movie is all about. The ingeniously structured screenplay by Katz, Hawk, and Lucas offers up a load of wonderful characters who whirl about in ducktail haircuts and shirtwaist dresses, lost in the obscenity of American culture. This movie speaks straight to the kids during this time and challenges the parents. From stopping segregation in the movies To Kill a Mockingbird and Guess Who's Coming to Dinner, to streaming religion with the movies The Ten Commandments and Jesus Christ Superstar, and breaking the chains of tradition with The Graduate and American Graffiti, all these movies have helped our society accept these certain movements into society norms.